What is your job?
I'm an officer for the California Highway Patrol.
Uh, what do you do for your job?
Well, I respond to all sorts of calls. I handle traffic collisions. I locate and arrest people that steal cars. I enforce traffic laws. I go to schools and talk to kids about following the laws and how important it is to follow laws like wearing seatbelts and not texting and driving. I have a lot of jobs. I help people that are lost find where they're going or where they want to go. I help people that have their cars break down to fix their car, like flat tires or get a tow truck, all sorts of different things.
Um, what is the scariest thing you have to do in your job?
The scariest thing, there's lots of scary things I had to do. I guess every time I get in a pursuit is very scary. Uh, One of the scariest things I've ever done, though, me and my partner got called to a bunch of cattle on the freeway, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's a couple dozen cows on the 152 freeway, and so when we got there, me and my partner, I was walking on the shoulder, and he was driving next to him, trying to keep him on the shoulder, and we were attempting to corral them to a safer location off the freeway. And it was working for a while, but all of a sudden something spooked these cows. And then out of nowhere, a couple dozen cows came running right at me on this narrow shoulder, and there was nowhere I could go. There was nothing I could do. And I was positive that they were going to run over me and break my legs, if not kill me. And all I could do is stand there and hold a flashlight on myself. And I remember seeing cows bounce into each other. I remember seeing cows spitting. There was dust in the air. My partner was in the car, and I could hear him yelling, at me to see if I was okay. And I just watched all these cows run around me. And luckily, miraculously, none of them stepped on me or hit me, and I came out okay. So I think, the scariest thing.
Dang. All right. Um, how was the academy? How was it? Was it hard?
The academy was very difficult. The California Highway Patrol Academy it's a 6-month live-in academy. It's very much like the military. There's a lot of yelling, a lot of getting up early, a lot of cold showers, a lot of stuff to learn, a lot of physical training, a lot of marching. There's the academy staff. They do their best to put everyone in that class under as much stress as possible to simulate the stress that you're going to see out in the field in real life. So it was. I think the academy was the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life.
Uh, what is the hardest thing you had to do for your job in boot camp? In academy.
The hardest thing in boot camp. Um, Honestly, I think the most difficult part about the academy, the Highway Patrol Academy, was going back on a Monday. We had every weekend we were allowed to go home and see our family, eat normal food, take warm showers. We'd have the entire weekend to go relax. But every Sunday night, we'd have to drive back to the academy and just go into the academy grounds. Your stomach starts getting nervous. Just showing up on Sunday night to be ready to get up early Monday and go through it all over again for another week. Every Sunday night was difficult, just showing up. I think that was the hardest part.
Showing up. All right. Uh, how long was your boot camp?
Um, Military boot camp. I was in the military. That's a 3-month boot camp. That Highway Patrol Academy, which is like a boot camp, is 6 months long.
Uh, what was it like working next to Protestants?
That was interesting. I was in Sacramento for about 5 days during the protests. We had groups of, I think as many as like 700 people in front of the little building I was at, and it could get intimidating. Luckily, while I was on the line, there was no physical altercations. It was just a lot of yelling, a lot of allowing people to kind of vent right in your face. It was difficult because people were so angry, and they were angry well, for whatever reasons they were angry, and I hadn't seen any of these people before, but the way that they were yelling at each one of us officers, the way that they're yelling at me and everyone else on the line, it's hard to hear that kind of stuff and to just to not do anything. Our job was to stand there and make sure they weren't hurting each other, to make sure they weren't breaking windows or spray painting stuff. They could say whatever they wanted, and sometimes that can get frustrating to be yelled at, to be called names for so many hours, but that's part of the job. So it was different. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. There was no violence while I was there on the lines.
Uh, can you tell us a story about your job?
A story about my job. I could tell you a lot of stories about my job. I've been an officer for a little over 13 years now. I've been in multiple high speed pursuits. I've chased people through backyards, through houses. I've been in scuffles. Somebody's tried to stab me before. I have been involved in a shooting. I've got a I've been to a lot of calls. I've seen people die. It's been tough. I've seen horrible car accidents. Uh, Always wear your seatbelt. I see people get hurt all the time from being involved in a collision and not wearing a seatbelt. People being thrown from vehicles because they weren't wearing a seatbelt. Um, so yeah, always buckle up. Always be safe. Don't text and drive. Follow the laws. Don't speed. Uh, yeah, lots of stories. Nothing that comes to mind right now though. That's specific.
Okay. How often do you work?
How often do I work? I work approximately 40 hours a week. I do have it. I work 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. I do get court a few times a month. I guess on average I work about 48 hours to 52 hours a week.
Okay. Why did you choose to be a police officer?
Um, about 20 years ago, when I was in the military, my military career led me to become a military police officer, and I enjoyed it, and I felt I was good at it. And then when I got out, it led me to this job.
What would you like to tell people that wanted to be a police officer?
I think it's a great job. If you want to be a police officer, go for it. Um, we need we want as many applicants coming in as possible. Anyone that wants a job, please inquire. Go look online, ask questions, find out about it. You know, it's really not too hard to become a police officer. Highway patrol is not too difficult. All you need is a high school diploma. Stay out of trouble. You could be a cop. The more people we have applying, the better group of people we get to choose from, and the better officers we have out there on the road. So if you want to be a police officer, I think it's a great career. There's a lot of good benefits. It's a very respectful job, and we could always use more good people. So if you want to be a cop, just stay out of trouble and go for it. Stay in shape, work out, eat right, stay smart, stay in school, stay out of trouble, and it is a good job. So,
What was harder, military or police academy?
they were both very difficult in their own way. I think the police academy was more difficult because it was twice as long. The Highway Patrol Academy is a 6 month academy. The boot camp, I was in the Navy boot camp, and it was under 3 months. But they're both very difficult. I was younger in the Navy, of course, and it was a eye-opening experience for me. I'd never been through anything like that. I was a little more prepared for the Highway Patrol Academy, but they're both very difficult. I wouldn't put one above the other. It's a challenge in any one you go into. Both careers, they try to make the best person they can in boot camp. They're trying to make the best soldiers. They're trying to make the best sailors, or the best military they can. So when you're in boot camp, they're training you hard. They're putting you through a lot of stress. They're putting you through a lot of physical training to create a great group of people that can go out there and do a specific job. The CHP Academy is very much the same. They put you through a lot of training. It's a lot of stuff that's thrown at you in 6 months. It's very difficult. There's a lot of exercise, a lot of marching, a lot of schooling to make the best group of people they can in 6 months to go out there and do what can be a very difficult job. So, but they're both hard, and they're both very fun too. I met a lot of great people in both the academy and in boot camp, And if you want to go to the military, I think that's another great job too. And having a military background can help if you wanted to go into law enforcement. Having 3-4 years in the military could really help you out to go towards that field.
Well, thanks for this interview.
Thank you.
And see you later.
See you later.